you so much for clicking the link and coming here. It's always a bliss to see you here. Thank you so much for liking, commenting and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for sharing my videos across. And I have recently crossed 1,000 subscribers and I'm really thankful to each one of you for your support and love that you have demonstrated. With your all love and support, I am back with one more my video on time management. In my previous video, I've spoken about a technique of time management called Pomodoro technique. I've experienced it on my own self and I have got beautiful results out of it. So I really suggest you to watch my previous video and try that technique out for yourself. Today, I'm again going to talk about a time management technique or a self-management technique that can help you master this art of self-management. So let's get started. We actually look forward not to manage time but to improve our productivity. We want to do more out of the time that is allotted to us, and that is what is the concern. We want to manage ourselves better so that we can do more out of a certain time. Say we are given 1 hour of time and this 1 hour is being utilized in a certain way. If you are happy the way you are utilizing that 1 hour, you're actually managing yourself, you're managing your time. So time management is nothing but how to improve our productivity. It's about that. Time management techniques doesn't work for everybody the same way. If some certain technique works for you, not necessarily that certain technique will work for somebody else. So we'll have to do a lot of experiment with ourselves to identify which productivity improvement technique or which productivity improvement tool works for us the best way. So let's understand what we are going to talk about today. Has it ever happened to you that you had 7 days of time to finish a task? You actually did not work for the initial 6 days that you had in your hand, and you only started to work on the certain task, the task that was allotted to you on the 7th day. You give yourself 10 hours of time, 12 hours of time, and you actually finished it. If that has happened to you, or if at all it happens that if I or someone gives you a task to be completed in 4 days, you let it be there for 3 days and start working on it on probably the 3rd day or the 4th day. You don't manage finishing it very well. If this happens to you, Parkinson's law that I'm going to talk about today is for you. Parkinson's law of time management is nothing but a productivity improvement tool that might work for you if no other time management techniques work. Parkinson's law says that if you give a certain amount of time to complete a task, the task will take that much time only. I'll explain it to you once again. Say this is a task. Can I give you 5 hours of time to finish this task? The task will actually extend 5 hours for you to finish it. But if the same task is given to you and I have given you only 1 hour of time to finish it, you will get under a lot of pressure and you will try to finish it within 1 hour. Same task, at times it is taking 5 hours, at times it is taking only 1 hour. This is Parkinson's law. All it says is that the more time you give to a task, the task will take that much of time. Which means if you have an article to write or a certain thing to develop and you have given yourself 7 days of time, you will actually end up writing that article in 7 days. You will actually end up completing the task in 7 days. Instead, if you sit back with the task, calculate it properly and identify how much time is actually needed to finish this task. If you identify you just need 2 days, you can finish the task in 2 days. That is crux of Parkinson's law. Hence, the first thing Parkinson's law put across is that It is all about prioritizing your task, and it is all about how much focus you are devoting to that task. If you have a certain task, a particular task in your hand, and you want to complete that in a given span of time, in less time, all you have to do is to shift your focus entirely on the task, prioritize that task above anything else that you have, and you can finish that task in lesser time possible. When I say about prioritizing and focus, a very funny example to it is, if there is something burning in the oven, will you scroll through Instagram at that point of time? No. If priority is switching off the oven, you will actually go and do that instead of scrolling through Instagram. Simply that if you have a particular task in hand, make sure, if you know that it is the urgent thing, need of the hour, prioritize and focus on it. A lot less time, and I'm sure you would be able to finish that task in the span available. So this is all about the theory that is given, that is all about Parkinson's law, which has been put across now. I would suggest you how can you use that technique in your practical life to make good use of it. Now, let's take an example. You have a particular work to finish. Now, generally sit with the task. Ask yourself, how much time do you really need to complete the task? If it says that you need 10 hours to finish the task, give yourself only 10 hours. And you would find that you have completed the task within that 10 hours only. If you give yourself a lot of time, you will try to make the task perfect. You will like to enhance that work further, and trust me, there is no end to enhancement and perfection. If you really want to give and finish the task in time, allot yourself lesser time as possible. Try it for yourself. I mean, this is just an example that I'm giving you, that give 10 hours of time. You ask yourself, how much time do you think it may require by you, and give that time to yourself. The task will be finished. And then perfection comes with practice. The more Parkinson's law you practice, your perfection, your enhancement work will also fasten up in the way. There's no end to perfection. So if you think that if I give myself a lot of time, sufficient time, it's actually again a misnomer. There's no time sufficient, and there's, according to Parkinson's law, it will extend till the time you think that I haven't achieved perfection. So if you think that you want to do a certain task in certain point of time, give yourself that much of time which is required, and perfection and enhancement will keep on coming to you in lesser time the more you practice Parkinson's law. I'll again come back to a point. Time management is all about self-management and discipline. No time management technique would work for you. No time management tool would work for you if you do not discipline yourself. It is all about disciplining yourself, how you get into a certain practice. It is all about self-control. I mean, it happens a lot of time that I start working on something, and then there's a message coming up, or there's a notification tone in my mobile, and I feel tempted to go and check that mobile, but I try to control myself as much to as much extent as possible, but it doesn't happen all the time. I get deviated as well. After all of us are human beings, but the more self-control we have, better is for us, and there's high chances that the techniques and the tools of time management or self-management or productivity improvement techniques would work for us. The next technique that Parkinson's law put across is giving yourself deadlines. Yes, even if it's a very small task, if it's a very, very small household chore or something that you have taken under yourself, so give yourself a deadline. Walk with the watch that you have, manage your time, manage yourself according to a time, and give yourself a deadline and try to achieve deadline. If you have 10 things to do in a day, in the entire day, if you manage to control yourself and reach the deadline, manage the deadline for at least 5 things that you have done in the entire day, you have done a lot. So this is how you will actually improve, and Parkinson's law would start helping you. The next thing is breaking down your tasks into smaller parts. Usually what happens, I'll give you an example. I'm a trainer by profession, so what happens is there are a lot of tasks that I need to undertake in a day, and all the tasks are interrelated. There are a lot of things that I need to develop upon, there are a lot of contents that I need to develop upon, and I have to read a lot of things and then collate information and then putting it in a certain document, and there are a lot of things. If I take one task at a time, it would be difficult for me to finish that off in a deadline. So what I do is that, and it has helped me, I break down those tasks into smaller parts. And that can help you as well. I'll come back once again. The more perfection that you look into something will eat up a lot of your time initially. So I would suggest, I'm not asking you to not to think about perfection and enhancing your work. You may do that, of course, you'll have to do that any which way. But if you really want to practice Parkinson's law, try to do everything one shot, okay? Try to do it in a certain way so that you finish that time in the deadline given in lesser time with as much perfection as possible. And this is going to help you. You are going to become more productive if you are producing a task with perfection, the desired level of perfection in less time. However, the entire thing that I said is subject to practice and self-control. It won't come in a day. You will have to practice probably a day or 2 or 3 more. Probably after 7 days or 10 days, you'll identify that you are achieving the certain level of perfection or the enhancement that you want in your task in less time. And you would believe, you would understand at that point of time that Parkinson's law has worked for you. Are you in a habit of preparing a to-do list beginning of the day? If you have, that's the best thing that you're doing right now. Have a to-do list with you. Make sure you do not make a very large, a long to-do list. Have your to-do list very small. 5 or 10 tasks in a day maybe. As much as tasks that you can undertake in a day or 2. If you have a lot of tasks listed down, it might overwhelm you. And you may end up thinking, oh my God, I could not finish the most of it. So have your to-do lists broken down as well. Have only the prioritizing things, the priority things on the top so that you manage finishing them up early. The final thing that I want to say is about controlling, challenging yourself. As I said, the time management is a misnomer. It's all about self-management. I reiterate, it's about self-control as well. It is how you control your time wasters, how you control your emotions, how you control your yourself in becoming more productive. That works. So challenge yourself with small tasks. Challenge yourself with smaller deadlines and you will see Parkinson's law working wonders for you. That is all from me today. I will come back soon with another video on time management. I have few techniques to discuss with all of you. Please stay tuned. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Please do like, comment, share this video. I would be really happy, really grateful and thankful to all of you for your support. Take care of yourself. Take care of people around you. I'll come back soon. Keep smiling.